Bonjour, bonjour à tous et bienvenue, ça y est, on est au... Oula, hop, voilà, on y est, on est à l'Accessibility Showcase 2026, avec de nombreuses annonces j'espère, des innovations en termes d'accessibilité. En tout cas, on va suivre ça ensemble. N'hésitez pas à liker, à partager, à vous abonner. Et puis il reste une vingtaine de secondes. Alors c'est parti, qu'est-ce qu'on va pouvoir voir? Visiblement on va avoir du doublage automatique par IA, donc ça va permettre au moins de comprendre ce qui se dit. Allez c'est parti, moins de 10 secondes. Normalement tout est bon, tout est ok. Allez c'est parti. Est-ce que le doublage IA va fonctionner? On a le petit logo. Non il marche pas.
Now entering its fourth year, this event is still the only video game trailer showcase fully dedicated to highlighting trailers for games that have made an effort to be accessible to a wide range of disabled players. I'm Laura
Je sais pas comment, pourquoi ça fonctionne pas. Hein.
I'm a white woman with bright blue hair, shaved short on one side, wearing glasses and a deep blue dress.
Là elle se présente, elle se décrit même physiquement.
So I'm going to try and keep this introduction brief. Over the next 45 minutes or so, you're going to see a bunch of trailers for upcoming video games.
Apparemment du coup 45 minutes de ce que j'ai compris.
And all of them are being designed to be accessible to as wide a range of disabled players as possible. We can't promise that every video game in the showcase will be playable by every person tuning in, but our aim is to make sure that if a game seems exciting, you know up front whether or not you're going to be able to play it. Our hope is that for most of you tuning in, there will be at least a handful of games shown during the showcase that will have the correct mix of accessibility settings and features that you need.
Voilà, ils ont présenté les options d'accessibilité, les innovations qui peuvent se faire, des images de jeux qui ont de l'accessibilité. J'ai oublié de faire quelque chose. Tant pis.
I'll have more information about both of our headline sponsors a little later in today's showcase. Until then, a huge thank you to both of them for their support. The Accessibility Summer Showcase is a non-profit event, and their support has been invaluable in allowing us to once again offer American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and audio-described versions of the showcase.
Ouais, donc là, elle dit que voilà, l'émission est disponible, comme je vous le disais, enfin je l'ai dit en stream, avec la langue des signes américaine, anglaise et l'audio description. Anglais, évidemment. Je suis dégoûté que le doublage IA ne fonctionne pas. Ça aurait été intéressant. Ok, trading card.
Along the way, you'll make friends, collect a handsome paycheck, and unravel a grand corporate conspiracy. Our art style isn't just super slick, cool and cute, it's high contrast by default.
Ok, on a du high contrast par défaut. Ah, c'est pas mal. Ah, j'aime bien quand c'est un fond un peu plus sombre comme ça, c'est bien.
We thought it was really important to avoid timed inputs. There can sometimes be a lot going on in Trading Card Inspector, so we wanted to give players all the time in the world to make the right choices, both in gameplay and in the story.
Mais est-ce que du coup il y a un lecteur d'écran pour lire ce qu'il y a sur les cartes? Ok, on a une pause menu, enfin un menu de pause tout le temps. On peut activer. Ouais, on a du glisser-déposer quoi. Ah, on peut contrôler le jeu avec le clavier. Ça va être pas mal ça. J'ai pas l'impression qu'il y a un lecteur d'écran. Ok. au mois de juin. Ça peut être pas mal, on pourrait tenter quelques jeux comme ça en stream ou en vidéo test. Alors là on est sur quoi?
Welcome to Torment Hexus, a game about trying to fix the world, one dead CEO at a time. You're an ex-battle mage who has decided to
Oula.
solve the problem of capitalism by ejecting its leaders out the nearest window. Torment Hexus mixes tactical roguelike combat
Torment
and
Hexus.
puzzling into a Magitech cyberpunk setting.
Alors, comment ils vont le rendre
Gameplay is
accessible?
turn-based, with no time pressure on any inputs.
Ouais.
Played with a mouse,
Il y a pas de ce que je
or
comprends, il y a pas de
pad.
QTE,
If
pas
forced,
de.
input bindings can be remapped.
On peut remapper, ok.
Visual effects like scan lines and bloom can be disabled for increased visual clarity.
Les menus ont l'air
For
clairs.
photosensitivity, we've added an option that swaps out the most intense visual effects with more simplified and subdued versions.
Ok. On peut réduire les effets, tout ça, tout ça.
Exciting thing we're trying to do with Torment Hexus is make it accessible to blind and low sight individuals.
Ah, on peut jouer en étant aveugle apparemment, de ce que je comprends. On va voir comment on va faire. Ok, donc il y a un lecteur d'écran, ou en tout cas, il prend en charge les lecteurs d'écran. Qui décrit un espèce d'assistant de navigation à la voix.
We're working with consultants in the accessibility community to iterate on the tech, and we hope that the final game will be one that everyone can play.
Tout le monde pourrait jouer. Bon, j'attends de voir. Hein. Tournament Access, c'est ça? Oula, oula, oula. Là, ça flash quand même. Ça change d'ambiance, quoi. Ok, ouais, c'est un espèce de jeu de puzzle.
Keep the world vibrant while accommodating colorblind players. Colorbound includes 3 alternate color schemes. Protanopia and Deuteranopia corrected
Ok,
colors.
bon, on a les formes de colorblind.
Can help with blue, yellow color blindness. For additional
Il y a des fois, je trouve plus les mots en français, hein, désolé.
Increase the size of the UI and cursor and adjust resolution. Colorbound is designed to be approachable for players with limited mobility.
Ouais, mais là, pour le coup, pour moi, ça m'éclate les yeux, donc à voir. Remap- Ok, donc du remapping complet, enfin, en tout cas du remapping sur tous les supports. Ok, pas de temps de limite, ça c'est bien, ça c'est bien. On peut prendre tout son temps pour faire les puzzles.
Panpipe Studio, with support from Whitethorn Games, has worked hard to make the game as inclusive and accessible as it can be. We hope you will enjoy playing Colorbound, releasing later this year on PC and consoles.
Ok, cette année sur PC et console. Ok, je suis pas sûr de... Enfin, il y a l'air d'avoir des trucs sympas, mais je pense pas que ça soit suffisant pour moi.
Also known as Arevia Online, and I am a disabled gamer and accessibility consultant from Norway. I'm a pale white woman in my 30s with dark blonde hair, wearing a green jacket and a white t-shirt. The next game that is coming up is the first big Norwegian game I have had the honor to be an accessibility consultant for. Working with the developers at Megapop has been an incredible experience, both due to their constant want to learn and adapt to new information, and due to the hope of making this the most accessible Reef Builder out there. The first time I met the dev team at Megapop, it has been obvious to me that they truly value and understand the need for accessibility in gaming. They have tirelessly met every barrier I have pointed out with creativity, trying to expand what accessibility can be in this genre, while at the same time understanding their own limitation. It was especially impressive to see how Sieve, the UI and accessibility programmer, worked with making this game fully playable with both a controller and mouse only, developing an option for on-screen camera control and zoom. And with that, let me introduce you all to the next game made by Megapop and out now, This is Life Below.
Ok.
This is Life Below, a city builder
Life
that
Below.
takes place in the ocean, a reef builder. Accessibility has been a priority for us since the start. The goal is to make Life Below as fun and playable for anyone who wants to play it. That means not just adding some settings, but trying to bake in accessibility into the game itself. Let me show you what I mean. We can start by picking a difficulty mode. We have peaceful,
Ouais.
challenge, and then we also have balance.
Mode de difficulté, classique.
Time controls, and most people don't think of this as accessibility,
Mais
but
c'est
it
très bien.
allows you to pace the game however you want. We also have some settings related to that, like pausing during critical moments automatically, pausing when the game is unfocused, like when your cursor leaves the screen, or if you're in a very complex menu. We've also added a bunch of tooltips to help you guide through the game. My favorite example is when you're placing down buildings, the scroll is red, and it's explaining to me exactly why I can't place it here. We have a few UI settings, like changing the scale here,
Mhm.
change the transparency of UI objects.
Ah, c'est pas mal ça. Changer la transparence, le ciel,
You can control the camera sensitivity and the scroll sensitivity and a few other
sensibilité.
functions here. Life Below is compatible with pretty much anything that your computer recognizes as a controller, something like a gamepad, but also like an Xbox adaptive controller. But you can also
Ah, donc bon après normalement il est pris en charge sur tous les jeux, mais normalement. Là, il parle de l'adaptative controller de chez Xbox. Pas mal de customisation visiblement. Alors sur les QTE, j'ai pas tout compris, mais visiblement il y a moyen de les désactiver. Passer en mono, j'ai entendu du TTS, donc une voix synthétique. Ça c'est bien. On peut scale, enfin changer la taille des éléments, customiser. Ouais, ça a l'air assez complet. Ça a l'air assez complet celui-là aussi. C'est pas mal.
Enough wasting time. Let's get to work.
Hello, I'm Fabrice Breton, a French developer. You might
Ah.
know my previous game, Brock the Investigator.
Ah bah Brock Investigator, ok, yes, c'est cool ça. Toujours pas fait.
To blind players. This is our new project, Social Strays, made in collaboration with Cypher, an American friend, artist and writer.
Ok, il a un nouveau projet.
Taking place in the same dystopian
Il est assez connu, Brock Investigator.
in a visual novel focused on survival, where you make choices that matter with multiple endings. The game has full voice acting and the accessibility offers narrative menus, large fonts.
Ah, c'est bien, avec des menus narrés, machin. L'audio description? Ah ouais!
Available on Steam, GOG and itch.io, and I invite you to wishlist Social Strays on Steam.
Ah bah ça a l'air trop cool. Celui-là on se le testera à mon avis. Il y a de l'audio-description, machin, et ça a l'air... À mon avis, il a eu un peu plus de budget, plus de possibilités. C'est trop cool. Ok, j'arrive pas trop à lire le titre, on verra après. C'est trop cool. Ok. Alors celui-là, peut-être moyen qu'on se le teste.
I'm Evie. This is my room. I like purple. People always say I see the world differently, which is weird because I can see it just fine. Oh, the leaves are so crunchy. It's the hearing it and the smelling it and the everything at once thing. That's the tricky part. But I have a system. My favorite pen. Why is it here? You figure out what things mean. You put them in the right order, and sometimes the world gets a little quieter.
Écoutez, il en faut pour tout le monde parce que là c'est rose quoi. Il y a du rose partout. Rose violet, un peu.
Sensory aware gameplay and player paced interactions.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Customize customizable accessibility settings, including colorblind support and adjustable dialogue pacing. A safe space to slow down,
Des choses ajustables.
created alongside neurodiverse community feedback.
I liked some parts.
I know that. You can focus really well
Ich
sometimes.
verstehe Liebe nicht. It looks like someone forgot this here. I need to bring them in order. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
Hey, why do you always draw by yourself?
Because it's quieter.
Ok, bon, écoutez. Il y a quelques trucs sympas, visiblement, dans celui-là aussi. Ah, je retiens les deux premiers et celui de Broken Investigator.
Thoughts on Steam.
Pour l'instant. Wishlist on Steam, ok.
Hello again. I hope you're enjoying the showcase so far. I'm popping in briefly to tell you a little bit more about this year's headline sponsors, Manycat Studios and TechRaptor. Manycat Studios is a disabled-led accessibility consultancy, supporting game studios in building inclusive and accessible experiences from concept to release. As a disabled-led team, Manycat Studios partners with the games industry to create more accessible games, ensuring that players of all abilities can participate in their love of gaming. The studio operates with authenticity and a commitment to a healthy, sustainable remote work culture. TechRaptor.net is a games media website founded back in 2013 that publishes high-quality news, reviews, opinions, features, and guides for both video games and tabletop games. As someone who has been a staff writer, freelance,
J'avoue, je ne comprends pas tout, mais on va voir en image un peu plus.
I can vouch for the quality of writing and reporting over on TechRaptor. They have a firm anti-AI stance and put a portion of their profits each year towards supporting great causes. You can find their coverage at TechRaptor.net. I imagine by the time you're seeing this, there'll already be a great write-up of the 2026 Accessibility Summer Showcase live on their website. Thanks again to both Manycat Studios and TechRaptor for their support of this year's showcase. Their support has made our accessible adaptive showcase variants possible. Anyway, time to get back to the game trailers.
Ok, on va avoir un trailer. C'est parti.
Hi, I'm Yamako, a solo indie game developer, and I make games under the name ./badgames.zip. This is my first project, released last October, called An Unplayable Game.
Ok, son premier projet.
It's about accessibility settings in video games, with half an hour of developer commentary that's unlocked when you reach the end. The game is designed to fully accommodate players who typically can't play platformers because of the dexterity.
Donc c'est un jeu de plateforme, ok.
It's only about 15 minutes long at most to avoid fatigue, and it was designed for comfortable mouse-only single-button controls, or gamepad with a virtual cursor, if you prefer.
Ah, on peut jouer avec un seul bouton,
You
quoi?
won't need to hold down any buttons or keys, as it's completely beatable with only short presses. You also don't need to worry about dealing with tight timing, even on difficult jumps. There are game speed settings that let you play entirely at your own pace with no timed input whatsoever.
Alors, je sais pas si j'ai tout compris, mais en gros, il y aura des options pour réduire la difficulté des sauts, etc.
Switch it to Atkinson Hyperlegible, which is a sans serif font with a focus on distinct letter forms. As a final note, the main menu does include an ongoing static noise, but for those who are bothered by
Ouais, et un menu statique.
mute that sound effect completely before you even reach the main menu for the first time. So, if you
Des
don't
sound
like it,
effects
you never have
pour se repérer dans les menus, j'imagine.
An Unplayable Game was a huge passion project for me, and I truly hope you enjoy it. So far, it's been nominated for 3 awards, and even won an award for Most Innovative Game at a local indie game showcase event. It also has a 94% very positive review score on Steam, and it's free, downloadable on Steam or playable
Ok, une démo gratuite ou c'est gratuit, je sais pas trop.
time and for your interest in an unplayable game. Now, please enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Alors, pas grand chose en accessibilité. Après, c'est son premier jeu. Il a quand même pensé à ça, donc c'est quand même cool. Alors là, on rechange d'ambiance. On a l'air dans une ville, je sais pas trop ce que c'est. Ouais, le menu principal est assez lisible, c'est pas... Changer la densité de trafic, ok. Ok, c'est un jeu à histoire un petit peu, où il y a des dialogues, bon j'imagine qu'en anglais. Pas besoin de lire.
Minimalist white text on black fits the neo-noir aesthetic, but it can be tweaked for visibility. There is an option to simply
Ouais, le menu est assez visible. Là, par exemple, je crois qu'à droite... Ah, on peut changer le fond, etc. Mais on voit que c'est assez lisible, les éléments. Ils ressortent bien. Ok, du colorblind options, bon, classique. On peut changer la vitesse du jeu. Ça, c'est bien.
All of these settings can be used independently to give you maximum control over your experience. Make the road your battleground and take down the conspiracy in whatever way works for you. Highway Noir is out now and available on Steam.
Ok, disponible sur Steam visiblement maintenant. Ok. Là, c'est qu'on voit une variété de choses quand même. Là, on rechange l'ambiance un petit peu. C'est dans une île tropicale. Des puzzles, la plateforme, ok, ouais. Pas de QTE, ça c'est bien. Parce que le QTE c'est vachement pénible. Hein. Quand tu vois pas ou quand t'as des difficultés pour appuyer sur les touches, eh ben c'est compliqué. Ah, on peut revoir le tutoriel à tout moment, je comprends. Ok. Ok, on peut augmenter la taille du curseur. Ah, dark mode pour les dialogues, etc. Oh, ça a l'air complet. Après, en étant aveugle, ça va être compliqué. Sur PC, console, ok. Eh ben, c'était plutôt sympa aussi.
Hi, I'm Colo. I'm a disabled gamer and content creator, and you can find me primarily on Twitch, but in all of the other places under the name Hello, it's Colo. When thinking about why games accessibility is important to me, it's a really interesting one because actually, it's not really about the games. Hear me out. It is about the games. I love gaming. Gaming is my job, it is my hobby, it is my...
Okay, ça a l'air d'être une créatrice de contenu, de ce que je comprends, qui est sur Twitch. Et elle est en situation de handicap et elle explique que c'est important pour elle le gaming, etc. Sa passion.
So when a developer adds accessible options, to me, it's important because it's an acknowledgement. It's a recognition. It's we see you and we haven't excluded you. And that is worth its weight in gold. Games accessibility is important to me because it allows me to do something independently, to have agency, to belong to a community.
Appartenir à une communauté, etc. Elle explique vraiment à quel point c'est important pour elle, quoi. Ouais, ça, c'est important aussi d'avoir des témoignages. Ça, c'est bien qu'ils font ça. Ils font ça depuis des années. C'est bien, c'est d'amener des personnes en situation de handicap ou des développeurs à parler de leur expérience. Ça, c'est bien. Ah, oui, il n'y a pas eu quelque chose là-dessus il n'y a pas longtemps? Par rapport au Game Jam qui se déroulerait en juillet. Par rapport au blind, blind accessibility. J'en ferai un tweet parce que j'ai vu l'article et j'ai pas eu le temps de tout regarder. En gros, ça serait, de ce que j'ai compris, des modes d'accessibilité pour des jeux, etc. Resident Evil? Ça, faudrait qu'on aille checker. Pas vous le cacher que ça peut être pas mal. Franchement, s'il y a moyen de faire quelque chose, faire un mode pour un jeu existant, etc., et rendre ce jeu accessible, ça peut être ultra intéressant. Voilà, ok, donc ça il montre du coup un lecteur d'écran visiblement. Ah, c'est un jeu complètement dans le noir. Ça, c'est des jeux qui existent depuis un moment. On a fait The Blind Legend en stream. Mais il y a moyen de rendre des jeux accessibles très facile. Enfin, je suis pas développeur de jeux, mais il y a moyen de faire des choses. En vrai, une fois qu'on a accès aux données du jeu, à vraiment tout ce qui est possible de faire, on peut le faire. J'ai plein d'idées pour rendre des jeux accessibles, mais bon, je suis pas... J'ai fait des études de développement, mais pas de jeux vidéo, donc c'est un peu plus compliqué, quoi.
Hey, okay, shut up.
Yellow login success. Engineer Cadence. Quinn, welcome. Please complete health check.
Yeah, health check, then I can get out of the cryo room.
There's a fair number of logic puzzles in this, and I found those to be very enjoyable. Number 3 in the list is Delver's Folly, and this is quite a different game, but it's no less ambitious. It's a roguelike where you basically navigate through a dungeon.
Le roguelike, c'est pareil, c'est possible de le rendre accessible.
Different properties and different things that they can do. For example, you can grow things if you have the prerequisite rooms linking to it, or you have a chain which is unbroken to that room. For example, water. You can search for materials in each room, or for keys or other things. And there's a lot of variety in this game. This one you can also play for a very long time, and there's a lot of replayability in this. There's also amazing voice acting in this, which gives the game a lot of character. I highly recommend you play this one if you like this kind of game. Number 4 is a game made by one of our regulars, Shift Backtick. In Omega Reach, you explore the universe. You are the curator of a conservatory, and you're tasked with finding instruments and interesting facts about planets and...
Ok, des jeux avec des planètes dans l'univers.
And you can play each of those instruments. And maybe it also has a dungeon of its own to explore. Some fun little characters, and the writing is definitely very unique and definitely very Shift Backtick. So if you love their games, you should absolutely play this one also. All of the sound design is synthesized in real time But where most of Shift Tactics games are first-person games, this one is a little bit of a different perspective. And number 5 is Fourfold Onslaught, a wave-based first-person zombie shooter with fantastic audio.
Ok, du FPS. FPS, pareil, hein, tu fais une visée automatique, tu fais un tracé invisible, mais avec du son. C'est... Bon, dit comme ça, j'avoue que ça paraît simple, hein, mais beaucoup de développeurs n'y pensent pas. Et honnêtement, quand tu as les outils pour, je pense que tu peux le faire assez facilement en soi. Hein. Quand tu as accès au code source, évidemment. Là, faire un mode un peu complet comme ça, c'est un peu plus complexe parce que tu n'as pas accès à tout. Mais techniquement, ça se fait. Hein. Des jeux de plateforme. C'est une game jam du coup spécialisée dans les blind accessibility. Donc ça peut être trop cool.
This should open up exciting new collaboration avenues in the future, because before now it was pretty difficult for blind and sighted developers to collaborate together if the sighted developers were already used to an engine-based workflow. So if you are a developer and you're thinking of making something like this, or if you're interested in audio games, or if you're blind and you want more...
Donc si vous êtes développeur, réfléchissez à essayer de faire un projet en rapport avec l'accessibilité visuelle, quoi. Pour rendre un jeu accessible pour une personne aveugle. Donc c'est pas mal.
I'm just popping in quickly to let you know that art asset production for the showcase this year is sponsored by Riot Rocket, a queer art punk collective that blends elements of psychopop and circus dance in their live performances. Here's a brief snippet of one of their songs, Circadian Rhythm.
Alors, on est en face de quoi là? C'est un partenariat de ce que j'ai compris.
Their debut album, Idiot Savant-Garde, is out now. You can find a link to it down in the video description.
Ok. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on va voir maintenant? Ah, This Is Us, quand même, hein. Enfin, je crois que c'est This Is Us. Après, This Is Us, c'est un mot aussi. Bon. J'avoue, j'ai jamais vu d'image du jeu, donc je sais pas. Peut-être pas. Hein. Bon, en tout cas, dans ce jeu, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire?
For example, to mine, or to carry wood, or to use various items we've made for them. And this is how we build our massive automated system in a fragmented world. We're rebuilding it piece by piece, and these pieces are locations where we can discover new resources, advanced technologies,
ouais, ok, c'est...
In the end, our system can help us defeat the main mega robot.
C'est un jeu de collecte de ressources pour améliorer des robots, de ce que je comprends. Alors. Ouais, le menu, j'aurais préféré en mode sombre, mais ouais, ok. Après, on peut scale pas mal de choses.
Speech synthesis is available for interface and dialogues.
Upgrade yourself. Let's show those tin cans they're not any better than living beings.
You're free to choose the most comfortable look for your hero. Every color scheme is designed to be easily readable in-game.
On peut changer des couleurs de je sais pas quoi.
Instead of holding down buttons, you can simply set your direction with a single click. Everyone is welcome in the world of Super Weird. Let's build it together.
Ok.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to tell you a bit about Hurdles, our Spyro and Zelda-inspired adventure game where you play as a magical dog. We are a small
jeu avec
team
des
of
chiens?
3 people at the core, and the hero of our game is actually inspired by my real-life companion. From the start, we wanted accessibility to be part of our design philosophy instead of something we only think about at the
Dès
end.
le départ, du coup, ils ont pensé à l'accessibilité.
The controls consistent throughout the game. You do not level up or unlock new powers. Instead, you rescue magical creatures called Hurdles, and they give you contextual abilities while keeping the control scheme the same. They let you bounce, glide, break walls, swim up waterfalls, and more. New Hurdles open up additional paths through our world, and they allow for all sorts of emergent gameplay. There are always multiple ways to progress, so where you go and what you choose to do is completely up to you. We also have puzzles in our game, but if a puzzle does not work for you, we do not want that to be a barrier. You can get hints, disengage easily, or use options including auto-solving the puzzle. There is no combat or death in Hurdles. So
Pas
if
de
you miss a jump
combat, il y a
and
des
fall down,
puzzles.
you do not just respawn at the top and have to try again. Instead, you continue on your way and you might even discover something new, something you might have missed if you had made the jump. Speaking of jumping, we added options like platform snapping and ledge guard. For some players, these can make platforming less frustrating, and for blind and low vision players, options like these can be essential to making the game playable at all. We already have a lot of accessibility features in the game. Things like a high contrast mode that lets you define the colors, but also sliders for brightness, contrast and saturation.
Okay.
Options that let you play one-handed, or give you more control over character mechanics like changing how jumping or running works. Other options help with different types of motion sickness. We generally try to provide as many ways as we can to let you customize the experience to your needs. One of our favorite features is that everything that is a toggle in the options menu can be mapped to a button. So for example, if you only need high contrast in certain situations, you can bind it to a button.
Ouais, je sais pas s'il y a du high contrast, mais
Do the thing and turn it off again afterwards. We want accessibility to be accessible during play, not hidden away in menus. Starting today, we are running a closed playtest with a focus on accessibility and would really appreciate your feedback. You can sign up now at playhurdles.com.
Ah, donc il y a des playtests accessibilité, ça c'est cool ça.
Accessibility options available in the game. If Hurdles seems interesting to you, please consider wishlisting and joining our community.
Il y a des playtests accessibilité, donc pourquoi pas aussi.
A Game of Thoughts plays with inclusion, representation and accessibility. It's made by me, a disabled developer, to share some experiences and insights. You can expect easy controls, light mechanics and heavy topics. Flame of Mind has you discover a totally typical girl through finding mementos, listening to memories and making decisions that don't really have good answers. If that sounds difficult,
Ah, j'ai pas trop compris ce que c'était comme jeu.
and perhaps even benefit from
Ça
one
donne un
of the
point
aids
and
you
click,
find
non?
as you go through her room. I don't want to take that challenge away from you, but I do want you to make informed decisions about your own mental health. The premises and topics of the game are described in detail, so you can read up on what to expect. Content notes will give you a heads up about sensitive issues for each memento that you can find, and if you don't want to listen to the emotional retrospectives, you can choose to mute the voiceover, even skip as many of the memories as you want.
Ok, il y a l'air d'avoir un lecteur d'écran, je crois.
And not a game to struggle against my controls. So by design, it's very accessible for players with motor disabilities. It's a walking simulator with no complex inputs required. You can always save and come back later. And while there is one rushed story decision for you to make, you can help yourself in the settings if you really want to experience the time-sensitive timeline. In terms of sensory accessibility,
Les menus ont l'air ok.
contrast and proper scaling by default. If you need more control, you can adjust audio levels, reduce motion overall, reduce gesture head bobbing, apply high frequency filters. And if my selection of legible fonts doesn't meet your needs, you can just use one from your system configuration instead. Sadly, some of my original plans, especially full screen reader support, a simplified control scheme and closed captions, did not yet work out. But you can play the game blind with an assistant and all important dialogue is
Il y a un blind navigation assistant?
It's an imperfect game with an imperfect character by an imperfect developer. But hey, it's on theme and I'm honest about it. An extensive list of supported features, planned features, and known issues is
À voir comment ça fonctionne, hein, mais ça peut être intéressant. Bon, ça peut être intéressant parce que il y a l'air d'avoir un assistant de navigation.
My pronouns are they, them, and I am a disabled gamer and accessibility advocate. Gaming accessibility is important because everyone should be able to access the self-care and social benefits of gaming. Games have connected me with so many wonderful people, including my husband and many of my friends. I cherish memories of meeting new people and connecting with others through a love of gaming. When I first became disabled, I was worried I would not be able to participate in those activities anymore because I could no longer use a standard video game controller. However, thanks to the work of incredible accessibility advocates before me, I've still been able to play many video games and make new memories. I'm thankful to the game developers in this showcase that have made accessibility a priority. If a game is made accessible for even just one more person, it makes a world of difference. I can't wait to see what this year in accessible gaming brings.
Ok.
Hello again, I'm Yamako, and I'm a solo developer making games under the name ./badgames.zip.
Ah, bon, on l'a vu tout à l'heure, lui. Ah, il a un deuxième jeu en dev, ok. Enfin, en tout cas, un deuxième jeu. Un jeu de puzzle. Est-ce qu'il avait pas déjà fait un jeu de puzzle, lui, non?
There's quite a lot of shapes and quite a lot of slots, and you've got limited time to get it done. And only your first try each day will get ranked on the online leaderboards. Everything after that is just practice, and you can practice as much as you want, but that first try, where you're seeing today's shapes for the first time, is pure skill, and that's why it's so important. So, I made this game with the personal goal of improving my skills as a developer, and I kept a small scope so that I could meet myself where I'm at, with a reasonable challenge for my skill level. And that's what I'm inviting you to do when you play Piecewise. You can fully customize the time limit to fit your...
Ok, customiser le temps limite. Ah, je sais pas si on peut le mettre en illimité, mais on peut le changer.
Your time limit, the more your final time gets reduced, and the better your ranked time becomes. So don't set the limit too low, or you'll fail and your run won't be ranked. But don't set it too high either, as too much of a safety net means that your multiplier will be worse. So instead of me making static difficulties, each player gets to set their own level of challenge, and you're encouraged to make it as hard as possible to get the best times. If you think you can beat the board in 30 seconds, you've got one shot to prove your skills.
Okay.
There are daily online leaderboards for each board in the game, if you like competition, but they're not really the focus. There's a full records browser for you to track your own personal skill improvement, and in the full version of the game, I'll be adding bonus modes for even more offline content.
Ok, il y a un mode multijoueur, il y a du mode offline, il y a des records, ce genre de choses. Un mode contraste élevé, cool. Ah, j'avoue, je vois pas vraiment la différence par contre. Ah, si, le background peut-être, ouais. D'accord, on peut mettre un background sombre.
And there's full controller support, alongside a mouse-only control scheme that supports one-handed play. It's a simple game, but I'm really proud of it. I had a great time making it, and I hope you like it. The demo is out now on Steam with an itch.io.
Ok, une démo sur Steam et sur itch.io.
And the full game releasing soon after that. For updates and news, you can find badgames.zip on Patreon to get important info sent straight to your email for free.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching my trailer. This took way too long to make, but I hope I explained everything well enough and made it understandable. I hope you liked the trailer, and I hope you thought my game looked fun. So, thanks for watching again, and take care.
Gather
Okay.
your allies, eliminate angels, transform into a magical girl, slay God.
On rechange d'ambiance, complet.
Or in a team of up to 4 players. Mix and match your attacks, spells, and movement in each run to unleash devastating combos on enemies. Developers at Ephemera Games, in collaboration with Whitethorn Games, have designed Kernel Hearts to challenge longtime action RPG fans, while being a welcoming experience for players new to the genre. There are 3 difficulty levels. Story.
3 niveaux de difficulté, mode histoire, etc. J'imagine que ça influe sur le nombre d'ennemis, sur plusieurs de choses. Et un mode hardcore, ok, oui, bon. Ça, c'est assez classique, le mode de difficulté.
There is an option to keep a list of controls visible on the left side of the screen at all times. Full remapping is available for keyboard and controller.
Ok, on peut remapper les touches. Ça, c'est bien. La sensibilité de l'axe, en tout cas l'inversion des axes. Ouais. Ok, le tremblement de caméra, tremblement de... Ah, ça c'est bien, du high contrast sur les textbox, ça fait du bien ça. Pour bien lire les dialogues et tout, ouais, ça fait du bien. Ok, une démo dispo maintenant. Ok. Ouais, c'est dispo partout. Ok, bah c'est dispo vraiment littéralement partout. Sur partout où vous êtes, c'est dispo. Allez, on continue, on rechange un tout petit peu d'ambiance. On est sur quoi maintenant? Un slice of life, ok.
You rediscover memories of Alo's childhood by sorting through her late grandma's things. Take your time to take in each object. There are no time limits here.
Pas de temps de limite, on peut vraiment prendre son temps.
Fishbowl is a visual novel about becoming an adult and seeing your childhood in a new light. Have conversations with your friends and co-workers, turn off typing effects or increase the font size for an easier reading experience.
Ça a l'air beaucoup des trucs écrits, alors j'espère qu'il y a un lecteur d'écran ou un mode contraste élevé.
In this arcade-style matching game, you can use both colors and icons to make sure the video clips reach the correct track. Slow down the speed of the snippets to suit your playstyle. Since the game deals with difficult topics, it starts with a gentle content warning, linking to a full content warning on our website that includes spoilers. As you slowly piece together the meaning of your dreams and memories, you learn more.
J'aime bien la DA du jeu par contre. Les slice of life, c'est pas trop mon délire, mais la DA est sympa.
If you need to. We also have both visual and audio cues for events throughout the game. In Fishbowl, there are no right endings and no grinding. Do as much
Les textes ont l'air lisibles en vrai.
Since we are a small team of 2, we weren't able to implement everything we wanted. Some of the things we couldn't get to were excluding the need for
C'est sur un fond sombre, ça a l'air ok.
and forcing some timed input during the QuickTime events. Fishbowl
Pas de QTE, de ce que je comprends. Dispo sur Steam et PS5. Ok. Un démo, je crois.
Award-winning multi-credited accessibility consultant and gamer without sight, as well as accessible gaming officer for RNIB, that is Royal National Institute of Blind People, the UK-based sight loss charity.
Ok, ça va parler de... Il y a pas mal de trucs sur du blind game accessibility aujourd'hui, c'est cool.
Now, the game in question is one that I had never heard of before this event, but was very interested when I heard the words fully blind accessible as a potential thing that was being aimed for during development. Now, this game is very much under my radar, and it is very unusual. It is quirky, it is interesting, and I reckon it has a sporting chance of being the highlight of people's shows. And also, the people who are really interested in it might be making a big racket about it. Yes, both of those are puns. Yes, both of those are relevant. Why are they relevant? Because this game is the Tennis Academy.
J'ai pas compris le nom du jeu. C'est un RPG?
but also sounds really, really cool. Particularly given I saw mention of giant boss fights and heroic tennis battles on the Steam page, which I would highly recommend going and wishlisting once you've seen the trailer if you like this. This is a solo game dev crafting this in Godot, which is also having...
Ok, c'est fait sur Godot avec un seul développeur, de ce que je comprends.
Which is really cool to see as well. I am really interested to see how this works when it comes out and when there are playable builds and things. But without further ado, I will let the trailer do the explaining, because I don't think I could do this justice. Here is The Tennis Academy.
The Tennis Academy? Oh,
To the Tennis Academy. Hi, I'm Rob.
Alors, ouais, ça peut se faire en accessibilité, mais voir comment ils vont faire, ça va être intéressant.
Humankind used to be at war until the goddess bestowed us with the holy sport of tennis. You are enrolled at New Tensington Academy, where you meet a tennis ball fairy named Servi, acquire powerful tenergy skills,
Je suis assez curieux de voir comment ils vont faire.
and go on romantic dates with your doubles partner. My goal is to make the game completely blind accessible, meaning a blind player can play the entire game with
C'est fait complètement pour les personnes aveugles. Hein.
and have just as much fun playing as well.
C'est jouable en tout cas.
As a solo developer can do this, then AAA has no excuse. To accomplish this, I'm implementing a swath of accessibility features I'd like to share with you all. The first feature for navigation is a virtual cane. Researchers at Columbia University had promising results with this, and I think it could become standard practice in video games. Use the right stick to send out your cane, and the text-to-speech will tell you whatever it hits.
Ouais, il y a un lecteur d'écran.
Easy navigation, there's also a nav menu that can warp you to important NPCs and exits.
Ça, c'est très bien. L'audio description, c'est cool. Ça fait par un seul développeur, franchement, bien.
Detail as if your DM was describing a place in a D&D session.
The vaguely tennis ball shaped window. Your computer desk suggests someone who's chronically online.
By the way, did you know that there are blind tennis leagues in real life? Matches in the game will take inspiration from this with sound-adapted tennis balls and the option to auto-run to the ball. If you want to support your local queer indie game dev making a blind accessible game, you can help me out by hitting the wishlist ball on Steam and keeping up.
Mais comment ils ont fait pour rendre le tennis accessible? J'ai pas bien vu. Est-ce qu'il y a des vibrations, du son? Parce que ça pourrait se faire comme ça, hein. Bon. C'est fini? Ah, ils auraient pu faire un message de la fin. Visiblement, c'est terminé. Ok. Donc ça a duré... Ouais, c'est terminé, c'est terminé. Et ben écoutez, ça a duré, mine de rien, combien de temps? Ah, je suis en... J'aimerais bien voir l'heure, je peux pas. Bon. Bon, ça a duré quasiment 1 heure. Bah écoutez, en vrai c'était sympa. Il y a eu quelques jeux sympas, notamment par le mec qui a fait Broke the Investigator, son jeu a l'air sympa. Les 2 premiers aussi qui avaient l'air cool, la DA était cool. Le jeu, la Slice of Life, c'est dur à dire, était cool aussi visuellement. Après, c'est pas mon délire, mais pas mon style du tout, mais ça avait l'air sympa. Le jeu de tennis, j'ai pas tout compris, donc j'avoue, je sais pas trop comment ils ont fait pour le rendre accessible. Il y a eu des playtests, enfin il y a des playtests en cours sur certains jeux. Il y a eu quand même pas mal de choses en vrai. En vrai, il y a eu énormément de choses. Ils ont parlé de la Game Jam Blind Accessibility, donc ouais. Une conférence plutôt satisfaisante comparée aux années précédentes. Les années précédentes, j'avais un peu plus de mal, et là, je trouve que c'était mieux. Après, je trouve toujours qu'il manque une grosse boîte pour voilà, pour lead un peu le truc en disant voilà, je sais pas, Ubisoft, un PlayStation, un studio, enfin pas indé, mais un studio assez connu, je sais pas. Un Bungie, quoi, bon, c'est chez PlayStation, mais vous m'avez compris, qui sont engagés dans l'accessibilité, et on présente je sais pas, des updates sur des jeux, des solutions qu'on voudrait mettre en place. On invite des personnes en situation de handicap aussi qui travaillent chez nous. Ce genre de choses, ça pourrait être ultra intéressant. Et ils le font pas, donc je suis un petit peu surpris par ça. Donc c'est beaucoup, enfin que ça même du jeu indé. C'est très bien le jeu indé, mais ce serait bien que des grosses boîtes comme Ubisoft, ouais, j'arrête pas de les citer, mais ils sont techniquement engagés dans l'accessibilité, mais je trouve qu'ils pourraient aller plus loin en rejoignant ce collectif-là et proposer des démos, des options d'accessibilité qu'ils voudraient mettre en place, avec des playtests, ce genre de choses. Ça peut se faire et ça peut être ultra intéressant. Mais voilà. En dehors de ça, sinon, ça a été relativement sympa. Donc voilà. En tout cas, les amis, on se retrouve demain. Non, on se retrouve tout à l'heure. Mais que dis-je ? On se retrouve tout à l'heure à 23h pour le Summer Game Fest. Si vous avez manqué le stream en direct, là, il y a la rec de l'émission. Donc n'hésitez pas à liker, partager, à vous abonner. Allez, salut tout le monde!